The Aurora network is an adventure for the human soul in search of new horizons. It's not the first nor the last one of the global networks that have been uprising. The future of mankind will certainly undergo deep changes in the way nations are organized. Each human community will be self-defined. There will be physical structures that will support the humanity as they become free, so they can get to know their planet entirely, all the surroundings deeply synchronized with other dimensions of the reality, with other creatures, and with other intelligences that have achieved highly advanced technology and that travel the outer space with extraordinary simplicity. The Aurora network stations, of which the name means transitory place, is a place where people live together without being rooted, as we imagine a free mankind capable of knowing their entire world, the planet in which they live, supported by these global networks that will come. 16 big networks will be formed in the world. It's a crazy idea, but extraordinary, that nations in the world are not limited by territories, but actually become means of living in community or in global community networks. It has an interesting structure because it grows from a series of articulated rings always around the same point. It's not a radiocentric system. For the settlement of the Aurora network, we look for regions that are still environmentally preserved, healthy as far as possible. In these regions, from pleasant hills, we seek the implementation of the Aurora stations. From a starting point, we build a tower and a service modules right from the beginning. From there, the circulation starts to break into a reasonably free geometry, but it will eventually close into a ring. There is also a water ring in front of the tower, which is the radionic mechanics of the settlement. A crystal structure is placed in order to keep a highly consciential level mood adequate for the human life. The first baseline is the meeting point, which is the council fireplace where people meet. It's a square. The lines that define the square are multi-purpose passageways, where the residential and service modules will settle in each ring. Inside this first big square, only 3 functions are allowed besides the water ring: a healing chamber, a contact chamber where extracorporeal or extra-physical experiences will be developed, also a unit developed for kids up to 3 years old, in order to allow them to enjoy this preserved space peacefully. The central facilities are located in the convergence point. Other services and residences are spread on other places. All the rural and energy production, all the needs of a daily community life are fulfilled using the space between the passageways. In these places, there will be kitchen gardens and greenhouses in an intensive rural production in such ways that people will live close to their food. There will be no food production in distant places that, after spoiling the very place where it's produced, that demands its transportation by heavy means, damaging the roads and the crops themselves. The system expands through other external rings, being able to start from any point in the inner ring in a free geometry to create pleasant living places with trees, openings for the passageways, assembling the service modules, such as clothing craftworks or places for music, for example. There may be parking lots near the main axis of the community, near the tower and the service modules. The passageways are covered, allowing free circulation. They are multi-purpose spaces. Within this sacred and radionic geometry, the creativity must be freely expressed. Until the worldwide consolidation of the communities, we will live a long time of settlement. The area comprehended by the settlement is called Alpha Area. That's the area that effectively defines the settlement as a cell, as a leaf. Here, it spreads out in a clear and energetic definition and also with responsibility towards the environment. It feels like this diagram has landed on Earth, because this planet is the temple of life, animals, plants, and so many microorganisms. If we cut it transversely and analyze it from another perspective, we will see that the settlements are terraced, which means they are organized in a series of supported levels. The cut shows the main structure in which a tower sits, and then its modules, which are disposed starting from a light hill with mountains in the back. Another important factor in the development of this project is that we make use of resources called radionics. A station conceived like this is a permanent healing and harmony machine, completely different from our traditional cities, for instance. At the Aurora network, we'll use conventional electricity, distributing it either in alternating current and direct current, establishing a topology in a manner that won't harm our health. Advanced civilizations are absolutely mindful to this kind of thing, and we, who want to become advanced as well, need to be mindful. If we live among the ones we love, the ones we know, the ones we relate with, and with whom we have affinity, due to the scale of the settlement, we can spread out our force field and live in peace, fearlessly and open. We can communicate through eye contact, we can open our hearts up, and even our telepathy starts working. We become an organism without ever losing our individuality. When the humanity opens itself for new horizons, when they succeed in incorporating new perspectives of reality, a more embracing deeper one, and they rethink the civilization model in which they are inserted, they will make a huge progress. They can do it. They will necessarily have to do it. The very nature will demand that.